Hi, I'm Miss Malini and you're watching me on bornofweb.com.
How's Malini Agarwal when she's not at work?
I think Malini Agarwal is quite similar to Miss Malini because my life is quite merged together, which is why I love what I do because nothing ever feels like work. When I'm not on the job, sometimes I'm actually on my sofa in pajamas, and my husband is witness to this. No makeup, just chilling, eating lots of junk food. So it's kind of a balance of both.
It is said that there's a woman behind a man's success. Who's behind your success story?
A man, of course. My husband is the CEO of my heart and my company, Naushad. And he's really, the brains and brawn of the business, like Mike, who's my CRO as well. And I get to do all the fun stuff and come up with creative things and network with people. But it's obviously a big team involved. We've grown over the years, and now we have almost 40 people who are all part of the business, and they all make it work.
You have written a book on your journey. Tell us about the most riveting chapter from the book.
Oh my gosh, so I'm really excited about this book. It's called How I Blogged My Way to Bollywood. I think there's lots of different chapters in this book, but I think the one that is most exciting to me is a letter to my 18-year-old self that I've written. And I never thought that I would write myself a letter like that, and I was surprised about what I told myself, actually. And aside from that, of course, everyone loves a little Bollywood gossip, so there's a chapter on how I get my gossip, which I think people are going to enjoy.
What are the early lessons that you learned from your digital stint?
So especially when it comes to influencers and creating content, the most important lesson was to be yourself and be personal. And I think the biggest mistake that brands and people make is that they think, oh, digital marketing, and they become robots on the internet. And the way to connect on the internet is to be human and to, use social media by being social. And that's the number one lesson that I learned. When I was at radio, I used to be on the air, and even though I was broadcasting to millions of people, I was actually having a conversation, a very personal one-on-one with the person listening to me. So that same ethos I took online, and that's really been the most important lesson for me.
Which has been the most challenging interview ever?
I guess the most challenging was Amitabh Bachchan, because he's such a regal figure, and you never know what he's going to be like. And I went and interviewed him, and he was wearing these pink sunglasses because he was talking about the movie Pink. And you could never tell if he's joking or serious, but he came in kind of like he was angry. And of course everyone was really scared, and then his makeup artist kept touching his hair, so he was like, "Deepak, enough!" And he said it in this booming voice, so everyone was petrified. So then I started my interview with him, and I started with, "Hey boys and girls," I said, "Hey guys, we're live with Amitabh Bachchan," and he stopped me and he said, "Why did you say hey guys and not hey girls?" And I was like, oh my God, I've just been told off by Amitabh Bachchan. But then he warmed up because, funny story, my father actually studied in Allahabad University under his father. So he had a letter of recommendation from Harivarsh Rai Bachchan telling him what a great student he was. So when I showed him that, he got quite misty-eyed and emotional, and he said, "Can I keep this?" And I think I'm going to get all the people that my father has ever written letters to give them to me and write a book. So I think that was a huge win for me.
What, according to you, is the biggest story you have ever published on MissMalini.com?
The biggest story, there's so many different ones. It depends what you call big, but I think the groundbreaking one for us was that we broke the Katrina Ranbir dating story, and I think that was a real big turning point because people didn't know for sure, but we had evidence, and we knew where they were sitting in a first-class flight on Lufthansa, because it just so happened someone I knew was traveling in the same flight, sitting on the aisle across from them. So I think that would probably be the first biggest one.
If you have to take one celebrity out on a dinner date, who would that be? Tell us 2 questions you would ask him.
I think I would take out Ranveer Singh because he would be so entertaining and fun to hang out with. And I guess I would ask him, how does he manage to not take himself so seriously all the time in such an industry where people are always judgy and taking themselves so seriously? And I guess the second question would be, I think something fun like, let's dance to a song. Which one would you dance to?
Would you like to act in movies? What kind of character would you go for?
Never say never. I've never pictured myself as an actress per se. I think I would love to play myself in a movie. That would be really fun. I guess like a Sex and the City kind of Sarah Jessica Parker type of character maybe.
What is the funniest rumor you have heard about yourself?
So the rumor I've heard about myself is that when you come to Miss Malini's office, everyone has to wear 6-inch heels and be super fashionable and wear Gucci and Prada. And I think it's really funny because if you came to our office, you'd see people are stylishly dressed in their pajamas and chappals sometimes as well. So I'm really excited to be here for Leaders of India, courtesy Born of Web. I think it's an amazing project, an opportunity for one, people like me to tell their stories, and I still can't believe that I'm here sitting and talking to people and telling them about my life, and I feel great that I'm inspiring someone. And I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of young millennials to learn and maybe get ideas about what their future can hold, and come up with concepts that they may not have known existed. Like, for instance, we started blogging and created that industry. You never know. Tomorrow there might be something that you can create and make magic with, and it might be a whole new enterprise. So tomorrow you can be a leader of India too.